Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of CZCW, as I can't speak, CZCW Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling. We are back with Uprising. Trying to think about what I wanted to say. Last episode, what did we have last episode? Damn it, Tucker, know your facts. Oh, yes, we had that amazing tag team match. Might be in air quotes, who knows. It was a pretty alright match. But yeah, it kind of has thrown the tag team division ranks, I guess, up in the air. Of course, the tag team champions did retain. Bad reputation. So yeah, let's run the show. We are, of course, live in the Gorski Ballroom. I felt like killing my throat for you guys. Because I don't know, I just kind of do sometimes. Yeah, we made a profit last month again. We're making that mad cash right now. We're just rolling in dough as you attempt to uncringe yourself, I guess. Let's just go right into it. So we have Air Attack Weasel, and my friend Peter is playing Rocket League. Way to be, Peter. Way to wait for me specifically to start videoing before you. Videoing? That's not a word. God damn it, Tucker. Come on, get yourself going together. Anyways, the Air Attack Weasel comes out, and he's not in his, like, ring, I don't even know, ring guy attire? I don't even remember what I called it. I think I called it Ring Master, which I think is wrong. But he comes out, and he's in, like, a, you can see kind of there on his headband or whatever. It's got, like, some, like, leopard or, like, zebra print or something like that. And he comes out in, like, a zebra print jacket, and he's got, like his headband on or whatever, and he is dressed to wrestle. And he says, all right, folks, you know what, I've been thinking about it. And Gregg, yeah, let's do it tonight. Me versus you for the Coastal Zone Championship. But since I do run things around here, I'm gonna make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to make tonight's main event a must-see. Tonight, in our main event, we are going to have Gregg taking on the Air Attack Weasel. I actually do believe it's Gregg Gage, so I'm trying to do my best to correct myself as I go. We're going to have Gregg Gage. God damn it. Oh, wait, no, that was right. The hell, Tucker. Gregg Gage taking on the Air Attack Weasel for the Coastal Zone Championship. But, Gregg, if you lose, and, oh, sir, you're going to lose, I'm going to terminate your Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling contract. So, no pressure, Mr. Gage, but, bring your best. Always bring your best. So yeah, the Air Attack Weasel has announced a monstrous main event. Title versus career. That's a big deal. Obviously. For obvious reasons. Gregg, who has been pinned as one of the future pieces of Coastal Zone. Ever since he's come in, he's been so good. And, you know, tonight he could be possibly being... Jesus, why can't I not speak? He could possibly have his contract terminated. Bleh. Why am I so bad at speaking, alright? I think because I'm getting a cold. But anyways, that's not the thing that's important here. The important thing is that we have a monster main event, and up next, actually, we have a match that was asked for by Donnie Perez. Johnny wants to get his hands one-on-one on Matt Sparrow, one half of Flash Sparrow, which last month took out his tag team partner / mentor / friend, the Super Ninja. In a 41D, Johnny Perez defeats Matt Sparrow when Matt Sparrow just leaves the ring and intentionally gets counted out. Perez actually controls a lot of this match. The veteran Sparrow seems kind of overmatched by just literally the raw motion of Johnny. Johnny just goes all out, trying to get some kind of vengeance for the Super Ninja Fumihiro Oda. But at the end, you know, Matt just ducks out. And this actually quite a bit pisses off Perez. American Flash comes out to the ramp or whatever and collects Sparrow. And Perez, though, grabs the mic and he says, that's it, damn it. All right, if I need to, I'll face both of you at the same time in a goddamn handicap match. I don't care. Sparrow, Flash, you sons of bitches. You've turned your back on these people. You turned your back on your word. American Flash, look at yourself. You're a beacon of liberty, justice, hope. How can you wear that mask anymore? How can you wear that mask? And Sparrow, these people are the reason why you're even here. These people are the reason that you've become a pretty much legend of the American independent scene. If it's not for these people taking to you and your blog, you're not even here. So both of you, I want you to get ready. Because when I get my hands on you, I'm going to beat you. I hope I've made myself clear. So yeah, Perez is fed up. He's fed up with the fact that Flash Sparrow have changed their attitudes. They're now these scummy guys who duck and hide behind things. They cheat now in their matches. They've gone on record to say that they don't care what the people think. They've injured his friend, the Super Ninja. And quite frankly, I think Johnny Perez speaks for quite a bit of the CZCW fan base and quite a bit of the locker room when, he says that Sparrow and Flash are out of line. And someone needs to put them back into line, And Johnny Perez seems to think he's the person to do it. We go backstage very quickly to Simon Waves and Gregg Gage. And Simon, they're in the locker room. This, of course, is on the DVD. And so, they're kind of sitting there in chairs as Gregg does up some wrist tape for later on tonight. Simon's like, we kind of break in mid-conversation. Simon's like, what are you going to do? Like, your career, well, I guess not your career, but your CZCW career is on the line. Like, what's the plan here? How are you going to do it? Like, Gregg, I know you. I know how great you are. I know that you're this pinnacle of what American wrestling is going to become. You're this fast, flashy, hard-working, lovable guy. You're my friend. You're my friend, Gregg. I don't want you to risk that, man. Can we get you out of it somehow? And Gregg says, Simon, you heard the Weasel. He somehow is running this place, okay? I don't know what the idea is here, okay? I don't know where the Guru is. Can we get some kind of update on the Guru? Like, where is the Guru? That's just me thinking out loud. Not what Gregg has said. Anyways, and Gregg says, look, Simon, when I get done with this, I'm either going to be champion or I'm not going to be here. But tonight, I don't think it's a question of what I think's going to happen, because I think I know what's going to happen. You're going to be looking at your new CZCW Coastal Zone champion. And when we get that sorted out, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go look for the Guru. And if we can't find him, we're going to find a way to take the Weasel down. Me and you. Me and you. We'll get everybody else. All right? I like that Swipe kid. He's doing good stuff. But Simon, regarding the match tonight, in life, and I know it's a bit of an old saying, but I think it holds the best. I want you to listen to me when I say this. In life, the best thing that you can do is play your cards. Life may hand you the worst hand you could possibly get, ever. But at the end of the day, you can't fold. Because if you fold in a situation like this, Simon, we let him win. So, no. I'm going to play my hand. How good is it? I don't know. I'm not going to know until I see his. We know him. We know how he thinks. We know how he works. We know he's probably got some kind of... But Simon, this is what we live for. This is what we work for in wrestling. It's the big moment, isn't it? It's the moment where we're able to look back and say, man, what if I had lost? What if it had never happened? What if 1 second, one single second, from a 2 count to a 3 count is the difference between this and something else? I've got this, Simon. I promise you. I promise you. Don't worry about it. Gregg gets up and starts to, work out a little bit more, and Simon's just kind of sitting there like, you can see him kind of say under his breath, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, Gregg's ready to go. Simon might have some concerns, but Gregg is definitely ready to go. It's a big match for him. I think actually, yeah, we're quickly going to change Gregg's gimmick here to Show Stealer. It's gotten a very good rating. Excellent stuff, Gregg. We actually see Swipe. Swipe was mentioned in that promo there by Gregg. But the American Flash beats him in about 6 minutes by pinfall with a high-velocity senton. This is a back-and-forth kind of match. Swipe puts on one hell of a performance. Never necessarily gains control of the match, but seems to have a counter of quite a few things of Flash's. Flash kind of outclassed for a guy who has much more experience than Romero. But at the end of the day, the American Flash is able to pick up the victory. And we have a promo from the Tag Team Champions, Bad Reputation. Waylon Walsh grabs the mic and he says, all right, now that we've sorted out our little snake problem, let's shake things up. Starting today, we've talked to the Air Attack Weasel. We're going to wipe everything away in the tag team division. Everybody, except for us, of course, we're the tag team champions. Come on, folks. Everybody is going to start at 0. No wins, no losses. Contendership stuff begins tonight. Gents, good luck. And we're going to have our first tag team match of this brand new, what do I want to call it, contendership race, I guess, right now. In a 50-60 minus, holy crap, this was good. We have a rematch of a tag team title match from a little while ago, but Jake Idol this time, Rich and Famous, pull out the victory over the former tag team champions of the Wildcats when Jake Idol defeats Tigre Salvaje Jr. by pinfall with a reality check. So, Rich and Famous have picked up a victory, and that has put them in a very good spot, folks. Remember, they did win last week, or a month, I guess, but seemingly from what we've just heard from Bad Reputation, that doesn't matter. But I guess what does matter is that they pick up the victory tonight. Very, very solid worked match between these guys. You can definitely see that they kind of know each other, and Rich and Famous actually kind of take advantage of that. They know certain spots that the Wildcats like to do from their recent, I guess it's not that recent, I guess it's about three quarters of a year ago, I guess. But they remember certain spots. They're able to avoid certain flips and stuff, certain high spots, and that allows them to pick up the victory. We have this kind of weird, concerning segment anyways. It's on the DVD. It's Donnie J gets in a car, and he's driving around. You remember last month he said he was going home. And so we follow Donnie for a little bit. He's driving around, and he gets out on this desert kind of road. And it's night. And he turns on the radio. Just drives. And this goes on for like a solid 20 some odd seconds of him just sitting there and driving. When all of a sudden, down from the sky, this creature Kerr slowly descends with this aura of flame, and Donnie J's like, what the fuck? That's not good. No, that doesn't seem great. And then all of a sudden, Kerr disappears. And Donnie's like, oh. Alright, that's concerning. And the camera slowly pans to the chair next to Donnie as Donnie looks over. And in the passenger seat sits Kerr. And Donnie swallows hard, as I tried to make a noise there, but I maybe didn't necessarily, maybe you didn't pick it up, as the segment kind of ends with just kind of Donnie and Kerr in a car. We have Simon Waves cutting a promo, and he says, up next, folks, I've got the California Love Machine. Cali, man, I got a lot of respect for you. You know that. I hope you do. You know, you've been a tag team champion here in this company. You've been a great young star. And I wouldn't be surprised to see you holding that belt soon, that Coastal Zone Championship. But tonight, Love Machine, I'm coming at you with all I've got. I'm going to use this, and he points to his heart, and he says, I'm going to use this, what I always do, to pick up victories. And as much as you are the Love Machine, you aren't going to swoo this heart tonight, brother. And we head into their match. And at a 38 D-, Jesus Christ, what the hell? Oh, I guess I slow-built this for some reason. That was weird and confusing. I don't know why I would have done that. Weird. Okay, whatever. Simon beats California Love Machine in 11 minutes, 33 seconds by pinfall with the big one. So Simon Waves picks up a huge victory above a guy who's pretty high up on the card. And Simon looks ecstatic. And now Simon Waves, you know, has picked up a victory. Let's see if his best friend can do the same. But first, we have Miguel Rivera as he brings out Chet Chavez, and Miguel just murders Chet Chavez in about 38 seconds by pinfall shot in the dark. And then we get a promo from Miguel, and he says, Al, you know what? You're throwing my name around. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Seriously. You want to fight. You want to fight, do you? You want to catch these hands. Fine. Next month, I've got no problem breaking your jaw and shutting you the hell up. Spring Break Bash, pal. 1v1. So there we go. We've got a bit of a rematch kind of booked in there. So Miguel Rivera will take on Al Coleman. You know, they've had a bit of a disagreement here. Well, disagreement being Al doesn't agree with the fact that Miguel's kind of a bit of an asshole, to be totally honest. But yeah, we've got that book now. And Gregg, Gage, damn it, makes his way to the ring. As if you check in my CZCW music playlist or whatever, or the C-Verse Headcanon themes or whatever, you will see his theme, The Moneymaker by Rilo Key or something like that. It might be Kylo something. Here, hold on. Wait, I can check myself. But anyways, Gregg comes down to the ring, and as he does so, he, you know, you can see him, you know, maybe doubting himself a little bit. It's Rilo Kiley, excuse me. Not Kyle O'Reilly. It's Rilo Kiley. Ha 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 ha. Wrestling joke. And you can kind of see that he might be doubting himself a little bit. By that, I really just mean when he gets into the ring, he takes a moment and he looks out at the crowd. He looks out at the CZCW fans, 4,000 strong, and he nods to himself. And he goes over to the corner, you know, puts his head on the turnbuckle, closes his eyes, turns, and the match begins. Match starts off all air attack Weasel. Weasel is able to get into Gregg's head, and that's the biggest part about this match. Gregg is obviously in his own head. Weasel is able to pick apart Gregg piece by piece, slowly but surely in the opening. You know, he goes after the leg, and then he'll go after the arm, and then he'll work on Gregg's neck, followed by the fingers, then work on the back for a little bit, and then go back to the leg, work on the knee. And this only really changes around the middle of the match when Gregg starts to feel something. You can see it. And it comes at one point where there's a really close 2 count. And you can see him kind of sit there for a minute. and it doesn't happen, but I would like to imagine that kind of what resonates in his head is, the what if 1 second was different? Was instead a 3 count. And Gregg gets up, and he doesn't look like he's in his own head. He looks ready to go, and he brings it to Air Attack Weasel in the second kind of part of this matchup, the second third. And he goes at him, and he hits him with strike. A lot of head strikes, forearm type stuff, before eventually goes behind, drops Weasel to the mat, begins to try to work away on him, starts softening him up for the Proton Lock, which I've now been told is a Muda Lock, I do believe. So he works on the neck, he works on the legs, and Gregg is going in right now. You can see it. And he hits a big drop kick, basically gonna describe it as the Air Attack Weasel is standing, and Gregg hits off the ropes, drop kick to one knee. And then Gregg looks around at the crowd, and they stand. And he knows it's time. Gregg goes to the top rope, taunts for the crowd, hits a massive crossbody, very similar to the big one of his best friend Simon Waves. And he gets up, and he calls Air Attack Weasel to his feet, hits him with a huge head kick, just straight over the back of his skull, drops him to one knee. Gregg runs up the ropes, hits a drop kick to the side of face of Weasel, and Weasel goes down on his stomach. And Gregg grabs one leg, he grabs the other, and he hooks them together. And he leans back, goes for the neck, and he's able to get it. And you can see that the Air Attack Weasel will have to tap out. But out of nowhere, this thing, and I wish I had a picture for you, completely covered in silver with 2 eye holes, just comes down from the ramp. And it is this massive thing. It's huge compared to both competitors in the ring. And he goes right at Gregg, and with literally 2 moves, picks up Gregg from where he is, carrying a leg, cradling the leg, cradling the back. He just moves over the corner, goes to the top rope, and off of the second type rope, hits a backbreaker. And Gregg is like, oh fuck, wow, that hurt, oh god, wow. And so Gregg kind of rolls over and tries to get his back going, but off the top rope, the Air Attack Weasel from the other side hits a huge Air Attack Ace, goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, the Air Attack Weasel has retained his Coastal Zone Championship, and probably most importantly, folks, Gregg Gage, not Gosh Tucker, Gage, has been terminated from the CZCW roster. Wow. Couple questions you probably have coming out of that. Where do we go now? What the hell was that thing? Who is that thing? Because it's definitely a person, right? And what ties does it have to the Air Attack Weasel? That's probably the scariest thing. And as Weasel and that creature leave, and the cameras go off, we had a 64C promo from Gregg on the Dark Show. And he says, wow, that didn't really go how I wanted it to. I don't know totally what to say. I'm really lost for words. And the fans, they stand or whatever, chant thank you, Gregg. And he says, no, thank you. Thank you all, really. I couldn't have asked for a better crowd to perform in front of for the past year of my career. You guys have taught me a lot about myself, a lot about how things are done. You showed me the talent that I really do have. and I want to thank you for that. But it looks like it's time for me to go. Have it be by fate or the Weasel's design. Looks like Sam Keith's son is going to have to head out on his way. And the fans chant, please don't go, whatever, that type of thing. And he says, I've got it, folks. And I said this earlier to a good buddy of mine, a real good buddy of mine. You have to play the cards you're dealt. And in this situation, I've been given the card that tells me I have to leave. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you so much. But it's time to go. And he blows a kiss out to the crowd. Babies are crying. Well, no, it's not that dramatic, but it is obviously a very emotional moment. Gregg goes to leave. Before he goes, he turns around one last time, holds out his arms, and just takes in the Coastal Zone. And on the stage, Simon Waves comes out and hugs Gregg. I'm sure Donnie would be there too if anybody knew where the fuck Donnie was. Where is Donnie? What's he doing? And Simon holds up Gregg's hand, points to him. And Gregg goes to the back. Simon follows. And that is the end of this month's CZCW. So yeah, a 61C. I think it was a pretty damn decent show, to be totally honest. One of my favorites. But something I do quickly want to add. Gregg is actually leaving. This is if I can break kayfabe for a minute, this is a legitimate thing that's occurring. He's been signed to a written deal over in Japan. We really wish Gregg the best. We're thankful that he could go out for us the way that we really, I guess, wanted him to. He was a great asset for us, and we're gonna miss him. We're definitely gonna miss him. Yeah, I don't have much to say aside from we're gonna miss you, Gregg. But yeah, our next episode, if you can not get whiplash from that, I totally forget what our next episode is. It's not Surf Slam. It's can't think of it. God damn it. We saw it earlier in the thing, the pre-booking. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited for the next episode. I hope you guys are interested in what's going to happen next. CZCW has just basically lost their future for no real reason. Well, yes, the Air Attack Weasel had a reason, but that's not important. But anyways, I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I really do. This is one of my favorite episodes. This is probably my favorite episode of the series thus far. This is Silly Talk. Signing out.